Trials Unit at the University of York. This is the Research Room. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Research Room with me, Lucy Ather.
And me, Janine Healy.
And today in the Research Room, we're very excited because we're having a 2-for-1 special. We've got 2 projects to tell you all about, and we're joined by Fee Rose and Gareth Roberts. Welcome to the Research Room.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're
Hello.
very welcome. Hello. So just to start us off, could you introduce yourselves for the listeners?
Hello, my name's Gareth, and I am a trial coordinator working at the Trials Unit, and I'm one of the trial coordinators on the RAPSODI trial.
And I'm Fee Rose, also a trial coordinator, and I work on RAPSODI and DIDACT.
Brilliant. Welcome to you both. Thank you for coming in. So we've got two trials to talk about today. We've got RAPSODI and DIDACT. So we're going to start off with RAPSODI. So Gareth, is there a long name to this project?
Yeah, so you want the full title initially.
Please,
so,
yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Is it
So-
that long I'm going to fall asleep?
We're gonna have to prepare.
Hopefully not that long.
Okay.
So, reverse or anatomical replacement for painful shoulder osteoarthritis, differences between interventions.
Wow, that is a long one.
It is a long one. You did it well.
Shortened
Yeah.
to RAPSODI.
Yeah, so we're going to rate your short name, RAPSODI. I like the sound of it. Quite a nice word to say.
Yeah, it's a nice word to say, but is it got the letters of each of the words for the long title?
I mean, they're in there. Yeah.
They're in there. Is it the first letters, or is it just picked random letters as a...
Let's have a look. Maybe I've got that wrong. Let's have a look. That's first. No, they're all first.
Oh, there you go. So it is the first letter.
Oh, we'll let you off
Oh,
then.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
the first letters. That's okay.
Yeah. What will you give it out of 10?
Oh, I know you would ask me first. You always do. And then they're staring at me. And it's like
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody. That's what it makes me think,
Oh,
a great
it does,
song.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
What's that to do with shoulders?
That just bumps it up in the coolness factor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
It gets
okay.
some cool points.
What shall I give it?
I'm going to give it a 7
Oh,
because I quite like it.
that was what I was going to give it, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm not
Oh, very
copying,
good.
honestly.
That's very good.
How do we fare? What's the average?
I think the highest we've given is a 9
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
lowest is a 5.
Ooh,
So we've rated your
you've
Acronym.
trashed the act.
Yeah, no, we've trashed your
Yeah, perhaps we call it Trash the Acronym.
Yes.
I like that. Yes, new one, Trash the Acronym. If I could say acronym, that would be even better. Okay, then, in a nutshell, can you describe your project and what it's all about?
I will try. So we're trying to find out which of 2 common types of shoulder replacement surgery are better for patients over the age of 60 who have painful osteoarthritis of the shoulder to help doctors and patients make more informed treatment decisions.
So shoulder replacements,
Yeah.
people who need a new shoulder.
Exactly.
So what are you trying to compare one type of surgery to?
To another, they're both commonly used in practice.
Uh-huh.
They both relieve people's pain and help with their range of movement. But we just don't know which of them is better for this group of patients.
Uh-huh.
And what are the 2 types of surgery?
So it's anatomical and reverse. So if you think about your sort of shoulder joint, most people know there's a ball and a socket.
Mm.
So the anatomical replacement, the implant sort of marries up with what you would normally expect, where you would expect the ball to be and where you would expect the socket to be. The reverse replacement, as the name suggests, sort of reverses that. So the socket is where the ball would normally be, and the 2 things are flipped.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Ah.
So when you're doing the replacement, you would take out the old, say the ball part, and replace it with a new metal.
An implant that goes,
Implant.
yeah, in its place.
It's
Yeah.
metal.
Mm.
Yeah, when you have
Yeah.
a joint replacement.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're always metal.
So you'd have a metal one. But on the reversed one,
Mhm.
the socket part is at the top of your arm
Yeah, exactly.
rather than your kind of shoulder.
Mm.
Ooh, I've never heard of that before.
Well, they replace the socket.
So
I'm being
the
very
ball,
stupid. Yeah.
So the ball is at the top of your arm bone
Yeah.
and the socket is your shoulder.
Yeah.
So on a normal replacement, I suppose would you replace them both, but you'd be putting your new metal, the ball part would still go at the top of your arm bone.
Yeah.
But in the reversed one, it's the socket part that goes on the top of your arm and the ball bit goes in your shoulder.
Oh. I see. I've got it now. So they've reversed it around. Ah.
I didn't know you could do that.
No. Well, so you don't have to make it the same as how it was before, just as long as it's a functional way of your arm moving.
Yeah, and there are sort of pros and cons of the two approaches, and that's where the uncertainty comes from as to which one of these is going to be best for this group of patients.
And are they both used quite routinely already? Or?
They are, yeah. They both are, yeah. I think there's a slight trend maybe developing towards using reverse more, but they are both, commonly used.
Why is there a trend towards that? They think it's better.
Yeah, I think that is the case. That there are some people within the sort of surgical community who feel that is the way to go. But that's why we need a trial to get that sort of definitive evidence to kind of show which one, if either, is better.
Okay.
So on that then, could you tell us a bit about the background and why there is a need for this trial?
Yeah, so obviously arthritis can have a huge impact on patients' quality of life, their ability to work and socialize and live independently. And this type of surgery is something that's becoming more common because there's an aging population and also because shoulder surgery is being used to treat a wider range of conditions. Currently, the choice of surgery often comes down to the surgeon's preference or what's common practice in the hospitals rather than solid evidence.
I see. So it's preference of the surgeons, but they want to get evidence to find out which is the better option.
That's it.
Great. Well, thank you. So that's Rhapsody. And so then we're going to come to you, Fee, for DIDACT.
Yes.
So what's the DIDACT long name?
The long title.
Okay.
Take a breath.
I'm listening.
Sling immobilisation compared with surgery in the management of adults with a displaced fracture of the distal clavicle. A multi-centre pragmatic parallel group non-inferiority.
We don't.
Wow. That last bit.
We don't need those last bits. They're just extra words.
That is a long name.
It is a very long name, but it describes what it is.
It does, but I noticed it didn't start with a D.
No, this is where, Janine, you might be a bit unhappy with the acronym.
Shall we?
Where the letters come from.
Right, so we're going to rate this, and it's going to be a bit of a downer, is it? So where do the letters come from?
Just trying to manage expectations here, because it's one that kind of upsets my eyes when I look at it. So DIDACT, and it comes from the word displaced distal clavicle trial. And the letters come from the D and I in displaced, the A and L in distal, the C in clavicle, and the T in trial.
Oh, no.
Yes. I thought that might upset you.
Oh, no. They've just tried to make a word DIDACT. Why couldn't they just leave it?
Do you like the sound of the word DIDACT?
I like the sound. I don't know. DIDACT.
Or the look of it. DIDACT.
A DIDACT.
It's nice and short.
I don't like the word. Nope, sorry. Rhapsody was a lovely word. This is not a nice word.
DIDACT. Oh,
so,
what are you going to give it out of 10?
I don't know who's going to be listening to this. Who's the person who designed DIDACT as a name?
I do not know.
So
well, if they're listening, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to give it a 5.
A 5? I thought you were going to go lower.
I was actually back then. I thought the person might be listening.
I thought you were going to give it a 4.
Well, you going to go then? You can go lower.
I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Moving on from the name.
We'll go upwards from there now.
The only way is up.
So could you explain, just in a nutshell, what DIDACT is all about?
So it is a trial that's looking at 2 standard NHS treatments. And so what we're looking at is a collarbone fracture and which treatment is better for a collarbone fracture when it's displaced, so that it's kind of not meeting is kind of what that means. And it's the end of the collarbone, which is what the distal means. So the end of collarbone fractures, and the two treatment options are either sling for a number of weeks or surgery fixation. So they have an operation, put a plate in, and then they have a sling afterwards. So it's comparing those two treatments that are kind of routine in the NHS.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. So you either just have it in a sling. How long would it be in a sling for?
It's kind of a bit of an estimate, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. You get reviewed quite often to check for bone healing, things like that. But
so that's just sort of immobilizes it, and then just let it heal on its own.
Yeah, it lets it kind of like naturally heal, like let the body do the work basically. But if in the follow-up, which they have quite soon after, to check that it is healing. If it's not healing, or if the patient is quite symptomatic, then the patient can have surgery as well. So it's not, you can't have surgery. It's start with sling, see how you get on.
Yeah. And the surgery is a plate then to kind of put the two bits of the bone back together, and
metal plate.
Metal plate.
That's it. Yeah.
And are these treatments both used? So you said they're both routinely used. Is one used more than the other, or is it sort of a bit of both?
I suppose, like with anything, so if the fracture isn't very displaced, if it's not too far apart, if it's what they say minimally displaced, then surgeons might have a preference for being conservative and treating it with a sling and think there's no point for surgery because you're adding trauma to the body and anesthesia and all that kind of stuff. So there's that end, and the other end is if it's quite out of place, if it's quite displaced, then there is some preferences for surgery.
Yeah, because I would have thought if you've broken it and the two sort of bits of bone are quite far away from each other, you might need the surgery to put them back together.
Yeah, sling's not gonna if it's far away.
That's what I find the surprising thing, is that you see some fractures of quite displaced collarbones and think, how would just your arm sitting in a sling get those two pieces of bone that are not lining up to line up?
But they do.
Yeah, the magic of the body. Yeah, I don't know. It's beyond my understanding.
The magic of the collarbone.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about why you're doing this trial, please?
Yeah, I think with, like a lot of trials, there isn't the evidence to say which treatment is best for which patient. So it's basically that. And there is the difference in kind of practice throughout the UK and different equipoise, as we call it, about...
What's equipoise?
So,
if you use a word, I'll jump in, sorry.
We use it a lot, and it's kind of balance about there being an acknowledged amount of uncertainty about what the answer is to a question. And so you might have some surgeons or clinicians on one hand who are saying, oh, I wouldn't treat that with a sling, I would do surgery, or I would do that with surgery and not a sling. So there's differences of opinion. And so when we're trying to balance equipoise in a trial, is we're trying to kind of bring surgeons and clinicians into this zone of uncertainty that there is, because we don't have the evidence. And so trying to get them into this kind of place of, it's okay that we don't know, we're going to try and find out. If you can kind of hold your clinical judgment, which they've probably gained through years of, training, and they're trained to be in a position of certainty so that you can give confidence to their patients that they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then we come in and say, no, don't do that. We want you to do something different. So it's trying to get them to have balance and consider recruiting patients to either arm to the trial so that they could have either treatment, and to kind of hold their preconceived ideas is my possibly long-winded way of explaining
No, it's a good way of explaining it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the surgeon has to take out their opinion, basically, don't they?
Yeah, like their preconceived ideas or how they would have normally treated this patient. We're saying, if the patient meets these inclusion criteria, consider them for the trial. And so, kind of just, and ask the patient as well, which is the important thing. Ask the patient if they would, consider being in the trial. Like, giving the patient choice is really important.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're doing the trial is there isn't the evidence to say whether sling or surgery is better for the patient and whether it's cost effective for the NHS. The fractures are quite rare. These kind of fractures, they only account for a kind of small percentage, about 20 to 25% of all collarbone fractures. So it's quite a small population that we're looking at, but there are kind of pros and cons to both treatments and impact for the patient. So it's kind of important that we understand all that and try and find the best treatment for the patient. Surgery is expensive, but I think it costs, for these fractures, it's £6 million every year for the NHS, and sling is obviously much cheaper.
Yeah, so the sling is obviously cheaper, and I assume the surgery might be a bit more risky, a bit more complications maybe from surgery.
Yeah, there's always the complications of having surgery, anaesthesia, and also with having metal in your body. Some feedback that we've had from patient and public involvement, people that have had this break and have had metal in their body, is that where it sits is often where you might put your rucksack and it rubs, so little things like that. So you might need an operation to take it out again, but on the other hand, with sling, it might not heal anyway, so you might need the operation anyway.
Yeah.
So they're both randomised controlled trials, is that right?
Yes.
I thought it would be, yeah. Since we're a trials unit. So what are you measuring in the trial?
So for RAPSODI, our primary outcome, we're looking at patient-reported shoulder pain and function, and we're looking at that at 24 months after they've been randomised into the trial.
And it's the function, basically?
Pain and function, how well they're able to use their arm.
Uh-huh.
And is it the same kind of thing in DIDACT?
It's similar, but we're using a different questionnaire. So the one for DIDACT is the disability of arm, shoulder and hand questionnaire. So the DASH, which is quite a cool acronym.
Yeah.
We can read that one.
Brings DIDACT back up again.
You?
And there's a range of other outcomes that we get from the hospital, like complications, reviews, all that kind of stuff to kind of monitor the patient, and x-rays, things like that.
So they're both looking at function and pain.
They both do the EQ5D as well, the kind of quality of life.
The one we all do.
Everybody loves.
Everybody does that.
So with both of these trials, you've had a few challenges. Can you tell us a bit about those?
I think the main challenges are, like with a lot of trials, are recruitment challenges and equipoise challenges. I'm on both trials, so I can there's similar recruitment challenges between RAPSODI and DIDACT. So the actual recruitment rate is lower than we expected. So a little bit behind. And so we've kind of met with sites and been quite proactive about trying to get them on board, get them engaged, and, put together leaflets and newsletters and bulletins, things like that, kind of top tips for recruitment.
I think it's always a challenge, recruitment, I think, with every trial.
Yeah, so there was some different recruitment challenges. So, for example, with RAPSODI, one of the issues is because it was an elective study, so people were on waiting lists for the shoulder replacement surgery. There was long waiting lists in the NHS in various areas, some for a few years, some not for so long. So that has affected recruitment rate. Whereas with DIDACT, because it's a trauma trial, people are just coming through A&E, but then that's kind of bringing its own difficulties in that it depends on when the patient presents at A&E, because if it's over 21 days, it's probably already started healing, so they're not going to be eligible. And kind of getting A&E staff on board with the trial for DIDACT as well in some sites has been a bit tricky, because the research staff that we liaise with at sites are not generally A&E staff. So it's the research staff at the site trying to get those kind of collaborations going with A&E and get the communication lines good and open and what have you.
It must be quite interesting recruiting people from A&E, because I guess it must all happen quite quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And there's different kind of mechanisms as well. It can be the research member of staff sees the patient when they present, or they could look on these what they call virtual fracture clinic. So the patient might not be there, but the research member of staff would phone them and kind of try and recruit them that way. So yeah.
So I suppose if you had a collarbone fracture and you go to A&E, and then you have to make a decision quite quickly whether you want to be in the trial or not, because they need to then do the surgery or put you in a sling quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the patient needs to be recruited within 21 days of the injury, but a patient could present at A&E and say, I want to go away and have a think about it, and go away and come back or what have you. So we can recruit people
so they can
remotely.
have that time between going to A&E. They can go home without having any treatment and think about it and then come back.
So the difference between the two trials is one is more of a trauma surgery and the other one is more an elective surgery. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So on Rhapsody, it's all planned. They have a pre-op appointment. They've got all of that information. They're really prepared for it. But yeah, it's a completely different situation on DIDACT.
Yeah, DIDACT being a trauma, the patient's had an injury and so then they need treatment. Rhapsody, they're on a waiting list and it's chosen that they're having this treatment, this surgery.
So yes, it's a different way of recruiting, isn't it? So you can pre-plan if somebody's coming in for an elective surgery, whereas if it's a trauma, you don't know who the heck's coming through the door, do you?
Yeah, that's it. And they can come at any time of day. They might also have different injuries. They might have polytrauma, so multiple injuries. So that might exclude them, but it's not a kind of they have polytrauma and are excluded. People are in the trial who do have multiple injuries. So we allow that in as long as it's not going to affect their outcome measure on how their arm functions.
Yeah. It might affect the pain, but I suppose it's specific pain to the shoulder, so that won't matter.
Yeah.
And do you find, is there a sort of collarbone fracture season? Do you find that, I don't know, you get more at certain times of year?
Summer.
Really?
Yeah, summer, because people are, it's usually, I think the term is a high velocity fracture. So people falling off bikes, putting their arms out in front of themselves to break a fall, that kind of breaks the collarbone.
So you see quite a lot of cyclists then.
Cyclists have had people falling off horses or just kind of, just accidents or elderly people falling over who have kind of frailer bones and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so more summer activities.
Yeah, there is a spike in summer.
Yeah, don't get people.
So is that you have a spike in recruitment? So have you got like a little recruitment graph that you see when you've got to your trial? You've got loads coming in this time.
Yeah, we do have quite a lot of grafts and
podiums
for we run kind of recruitment drives to try and for both trials to try and get sites recruiting and get them enthusiastic and stuff. So we had like a sports bonanza over the summer and giving out prizes as in like certificates, maybe a box of chocolates for sites that are doing well.
Yeah.
So they're there rubbing little hands hoping people fall off bikes in the summer.
Yeah, literally. There is also a kind of issue that with DIDACT that we targeted major trauma centres because they would see more collarbone fractures, but because they're a major trauma centre, they see major traumas. And so for any kind of injury that is higher risk than a collarbone fracture, they will take the theatre slots over a collarbone fracture, which is deemed as less risky. So I think there's a couple of sites that have found that a bit of a struggle getting the theatre slots because a surgeon might think, well, a collarbone is quite low risk, might not necessarily need an operation. This major trauma person definitely needs an operation and needs that theatre slot.
So were there similar sort of challenges in Rhapsody?
I mean, we certainly had the challenge of the, getting the slots in theatre with, like as Fee said, with all the pressures on the NHS. So, that was similar.
And I think that Rhapsody has been quite an acceptable study for most patients. The consent rate's been pretty good because it is, you're going to have a shoulder replacement, which, to a patient might not completely matter which one it is. They're both kind of suitable. Whereas we've found with DIDACT, the consent rate is not as good because there are strong preferences, particularly for the older end of our patients who would prefer sling, who don't want surgery, and the younger patients who think surgery equals quicker recovery, which might not necessarily be the case, but you can understand where that surgery fix quicker and get back to work and earn money and not be off sick, that kind of thing.
So. So people might not want to come into the trial because they want to be able to decide which one they get.
Yeah, absolutely. And like strong preferences for one or the other.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. So for Rhapsody, they're just happy that they're getting an operation, whereas because it's an operation or something else, that's why you're having difficulties with patients.
Yeah, do you find in Rhapsody there's any preference for the two groups, or do people not really mind? They're getting a new shoulder, they don't mind what kind.
I don't know if you'd agree with this feedback. I think it's interesting because it links back to what you were discussing about the equipoise previously, because like where we landed there was, it's try to put your own preference as a surgeon maybe to one side and let the patients decide. Then it comes back round in a circle if the patient's preference is, well, you're the expert.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to tell me what you think, what you feel I should have.
I
don't want to be randomised. I want you to tell me. So I think that has come up a little bit on Rhapsody, hasn't it? Where, patients have turned it back around in that way.
And they don't want to be randomly allocated to one. They want the doctor to make their decision.
And then our kind of job is to say to the clinician, well, you have decided to recruit to this trial, so that's your answer, is that your answer for the best treatment is to be part of the trial. That's how we're trying to present it to the surgeons. But
because I suppose if they don't have evidence yet which one is best, then the surgeon can't really make that decision.
There's all these different aspects that come in to make up somebody's decisions and judgments about what they think is right for a patient. And because we all have our own comfort areas, don't we? And if somebody's more comfortable with the reverse, they're possibly going to want to give their patient a reverse. Whereas if they're quite happy with either, they might be more likely to recruit a patient.
We've heard from surgeons that sometimes it is very uncomfortable to randomise when you're accepting that the community as a whole is uncertain, there isn't strong evidence, but maybe you're thinking, this patient would have tended to do one thing or the other. Yeah. And, we've got some feedback of people saying, but if you go ahead, you're randomised, often you can be surprised as to, how you expected it to turn out sometimes. Yeah, but it must be, for surgeons, a really difficult position to be in.
Yeah.
Because the buck stops with them, doesn't it? It's their responsibility to get the best outcome for their patient, and you can't take personal opinion out of that completely. However much we try and ask them to, it's never going to go away completely.
Yeah, it is a challenge. I guess that's why we're doing the trial, and then at the end of it, they will have some proper evidence that they can use to say that maybe this one's better, maybe that one's better.
So when do you finish?
Recruiting till the end of March next year. At the moment, that I think it's not set in stone. It's kind of depending on how things go.
Yeah,
possibly longer. And a similar thing with DIDACT as well, I think.
So you're about sort of halfway through your recruitment, would you say?
Just over, I think. Yeah.
And so on Rhapsody, that's a blinded trial, is that right? And DIDACT, that one's not blinded. Could you explain for us a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, so for Rhapsody, as you say, it's blinded. Well, the participants are blinded, and an outcome assessor will be blinded as well. So there's a 2-year assessment that needs to be blinded. So it's like a range of movement thing. And so we need the assessor to not know what the participants had.
So the participants don't know which shoulder replacement they've had?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so they don't know. And then the person who's measuring how well they can move, they also don't know which one they've had.
That's right. But surgeon and physio. Blinded. Yeah, but surgeon and physio and research nurses, they are not blinded.
So they know. Someone knows.
Obviously the surgeon knows because he's done the thing.
He knows which one he is.
And physios have said it would be pretty obvious to them which one.
Oh, right. So they could tell. Ah, but the participant doesn't know. And when does the participant find out which one they've had?
We can let them know once we've had their 24-month questionnaire
Ah, so 2 years then.
returned. Yeah.
So you don't know for 2 years.
Yeah. It's interesting that. I suppose they don't. I suppose it wouldn't really make a difference to them. They've still got a new shoulder.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be
that's one of
blinded on the other trial because you know whether you've got a sling, don't you?
Yeah.
You know whether you've had surgery or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've put quite a lot of work into trying to manage and maintain blinding with participants because obviously at the hospital there's a lot of different nurses, surgeons, clinicians, everybody seeing patients over the course of 2 years, not just for their shoulder, but for any issue they might go to hospital. They might be unblinded at that point. So there's a lot that's kind of...
Yeah, I'm just thinking then, well, if all these people know about what they've had, can't they just tell the patient? Couldn't they?
Well, I think that's what you're saying, isn't it? It's quite difficult to keep that blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
But there's just a bit of evidence that says that knowing which one kind of affects your answers to the questions. So I suppose we're doing a study within a trial to look at the differences or like what's happened with blinding on the trial.
Yeah, that'll be because we want to. The reason you would blind people is so they're not biased in some way. Because if they know what treatment they've had, they might give a different answer to if they didn't know.
Yeah. Because for example, like with the reverse shoulder replacement, they might be told before they have it, one of the things about a reverse is you can't put your arm behind your back and up your back because of how the socket has changed. So you can't do that. So patients could unblind themselves by figuring that out, basically, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you for talking to us all about DIDACT and RHAPSODI, 2 for 1. Thank you for that. That was really, really interesting. And I've learned a lot. But now we've got a bit of fun and we're going to do our random research questions, which we're going to pull out of this hat.
Okay, then. What is the nerdiest thing you do?
Oh, because we're all nerdy in the trials unit.
We are.
Well, I have to confess, even before it became remotely relevant, I was quite interested in time series analysis and counterfactuals and forecasting. And then I was like, there's this method that uses all of those things.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So even in your spare time, you're thinking about types of analysis. That is quite nerdy. Yeah.
It is very nerdy, is that? I like it.
I think this was the one question that I was worried that was going to come up.
Because you're really cool and you're not nerdy.
Not at all. It's because I think most of the things I do probably are nerdy, but I just don't see them as being nerdy. It depends who you ask, I suppose.
It is, yeah.
You know, a bit obsessed with spreadsheets.
Oh, I love
spreadsheets.
spreadsheets.
Otherwise, they do my head in. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's quite nerdy.
Beautifully colour-coded fees spreadsheet.
Oh, really?
I can vouch for that.
Oh, beautifully colour-coded. Oh, Lucy likes a colour-coded.
I do love a colour-coded spreadsheet.
Yeah, she likes a spreadsheet as well. I think you're a bit nerdy.
We can get together and look at our spreadsheets together.
You could compare them.
Yeah,
or rate
a pivot table.
You could rate each other's spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How exciting. What was your dream job as a kid before you knew that researcher was an option?
I can't remember ever having kind of massive career aspirations as a child. Like, ice cream van driver. I don't know.
Good answer, yeah.
So I was totally disinterested in anything to do with academia and at school. I was only interested in sort of theatrical stuff and music and drama and dance. So yeah, that's... Yeah, regrettably now, because I wasn't paying attention to any of those maths classes.
It doesn't matter. You're here now.
So like an actor or a singer?
Yeah, I loved theatre and music. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Do you still do a bit of theatre and music?
Not really, no. Which is a bit of a shame. I mess around on the guitar a bit, yeah.
Oh, great. I like that
Do you
one.
dance? I'm sure we've had a conversation about dancing.
Yeah, so that's what I did. Yeah, prior to getting into research. Yeah,
Oh,
I was a
great.
dancer.
Really? Were you?
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I was a dancer. Yeah.
Oh, that's
God,
great.
that's brilliant. Where were you a dancer?
So I trained at the Northern School of Contemporary Dance, and then ran a small community dance company for a few years.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And
That's
then
great.
you danced, and then you danced into physiotherapy, and then came
Got
into
interested in research.
Very good. Dancing into research. Is that what you're saying?
dancing into research. No, I wasn't. I already tried it with the dancing into physiotherapy, and it went down like a lead balloon.
I thought that's what you were trying to do.
Or doing a rumba into research.
Oh,
That's what you get
better. Yeah.
Or waltzing into research.
Waltzing into research. Oh, that's lovely.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, we need another question. Good grief. Which emoji best represents your research?
Ooh. Is there an arm? Is there a shoulder joint emoji?
I was thinking of the face ones,
Yeah.
kind of- it's either the monkey with the hands across the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, I don't know, the face that's upside down that's smiling. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For DIDACT anyway.
So I really feel underqualified to speak to this because my daughter has told me that I simply don't understand what these emojis I'm sending. Oh, that looks. I said, Dad, you can't. That doesn't mean what you think. So I'll say the basic plain smiley emoji because I know at least that is safe.
You can't have a smiley emoji for somebody that's damaged the shoulder.
Oh, but they're happy.
But they're going to receive treatment.
Oh, yeah, true.
That we
True.
know it relieves
Yeah.
their pain.
Yeah,
Both
true.
of them do.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
okay.
kind of,
Yeah.
I took that question as, how do you feel about your trial? Which emoji represents your emotional expression when you're working on the trial is how I thought about it.
Upside down.
It's just a bit like, oh, what? Oh, but it's
Covering
okay. I'm smiling. I'm upside down, but I'm smiling.
Yeah. I like that one.
That's a good one.
What's one thing you wish you had more time to spend on? That can be in your research or just in life.
Oh, in life, sewing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I need to prioritise that a bit more. Like, a hobby, a craft. Love it.
Yeah.
So in life, I'd have to say paddleboarding. I've kind of dabbled a little bit this summer.
That's
We've
fun.
we've had one in the shed. It's been sat there in the shed for the best part of a year. But no, we dusted it off and gave that a go. And yeah, it was great. So yeah, I'd love to do more of that.
It's great. It's paddleboarding.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing.
Yeah, definitely. Very
Until you
meditative.
fall off.
Yeah.
What is your favourite type of chart or graph and why?
I think one of those, is it called a Venn diagram?
Oh,
The circles and
yeah.
the overlap, and you get,
yeah,
Yeah.
you see really
Yeah.
daft ones going around social media.
Oh,
don't you?
yes.
So, like this personality and this person, and it's like DJ and bank robber and something, and in the middle it's put your hands up in the air.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
like that. So it's, DJ, put your hands up in the air, or bank robber.
Yeah.
Is that a Venn diagram?
Yeah.
think so, yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
Weather cross, yeah.
I suppose I should say a kind of cumulative recruitment.
Yeah. A nice recruitment graph.
Yeah, that's the answer.
That's
I
your
should
answer,
give.
yeah.
A recruitment graph that's
Yeah.
going up in the right
Yeah,
direction.
yeah, that's
That
it, a
follows
graph.
the projected
Yeah.
recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
bang on.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
that's a good answer.
If you could turn your project into a board game, what would it be called and how would it be played?
My mind goes straight to Ka-Plunk,
Oh, yeah.
that game. And I don't know,
Yeah.
you pull the rods out, don't you, and the balls fall. So maybe
Yeah.
you pull a rod out when you recruit somebody, and the more balls fall, the more
Yeah.
chocolates you get. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's quite a good one for a trial because you have to, it's like you're recruiting people as the marbles fall.
And it's a bit like the drama of a trial, like
Yeah.
Ka-Plunk. Just,
Yeah.
it can be a bit of a trial in itself.
It can.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you got one for Rhapsody?
Oh, What would I say? Something like maybe a tabletop role play sort of game, like Dungeons and Dragons, but instead of that, it's balls and sockets. I don't know.
That'll do. I like that, actually. Balls and sockets.
Yeah, I like it. That's good. Well, thank you so much for coming to the research room today to talk about both of your trials. They're both really, really interesting. And we'll put all the information in the show notes for people to find out a bit more. But yeah, just to say thank you, really.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like and follow The Research Room wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to leave us a review, that really helps other people find the podcast.
Does it?
It does, yeah.